Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle is a beacon of hope. He offers a compelling vision for the Catholic Church. His words inspire. His actions resonate deeply. Cardinal Tagle calls for a church that is open. He calls for a church that is compassionate. He calls for a church that is truly Christ-centered. Cardinal Tagle's vision is rooted in love. It is a love that is rooted in the gospel. It is a love that embraces all. This love has the power to transform. It can transform hearts. It can transform the church. It can transform the world. In a world often shrouded in darkness, Cardinal Tagle shines a light. He reminds us of the power of faith. He reminds us of the importance of hope. He reminds us of the transformative power of love. Cardinal Tagle's vision is a call to action. It is a call to build a better church. It is a call to build a better world. At the heart of Cardinal Tagle's vision lies a profound devotion to the Sacred Heart of Jesus. This devotion is not just a fleeting sentiment or a mere tradition passed down through generations. It is a living, breathing testament to the love that Jesus has for all of humanity. Cardinal Tagle's connection to the Sacred Heart is deeply rooted in his personal experiences and theological reflections. It is a source of strength and inspiration that guides his every action and decision. This devotion is not merely symbolic, it is deeply personal, it is deeply theological. For Cardinal Tagle, the Sacred Heart of Jesus is a constant reminder of the boundless love that God has for each and every one of us. It is a love that transcends time and space, reaching out to touch the hearts of all people, regardless of their background or circumstances. This profound love is at the core of Cardinal Tagle's ministry and his approach to life. It is a reminder of God's boundless love for humanity. This love is not limited to a select few, but is available to all who seek it. It is a love that heals, comforts, and brings hope to those who are in despair. Cardinal Tagle often speaks of the Sacred Heart as a source of solace and strength, especially in times of difficulty. He believes that by turning to the Sacred Heart, we can find the courage to face life's challenges with faith and resilience. The Sacred Heart of Jesus, pierced on the cross, represents the depth of God's love. It is a powerful symbol of sacrifice and redemption. Cardinal Tagle often reflects on the significance of the Sacred Heart in his homilies and teachings. He emphasizes that the wounds of the Sacred Heart are a testament to the lengths that God is willing to go to save us. It is a love that is willing to endure suffering and pain for the sake of others. It is a love that knows no bounds. It is a love that reaches out to the marginalized, the forgotten, and the oppressed. Cardinal Tagle's ministry is characterized by his unwavering commitment to social justice and his dedication to serving those in need. He believes that the Sacred Heart calls us to extend our love and compassion to all people, especially those who are suffering and in need of help. It is a love that extends to all people. Cardinal Tagle's vision of the Church is one that is inclusive and welcoming to all, regardless of their background or circumstances. He believes that the Sacred Heart calls us to embrace diversity and to celebrate the unique gifts and talents that each person brings to the community. This vision of inclusivity is reflected in his efforts to promote dialogue and understanding among different cultures and faith traditions. It is a love that is especially present to those who are suffering. Cardinal Tagle's ministry is marked by his compassion and empathy for those who are in pain. He often visits hospitals, shelters, and other places where people are struggling, offering them comfort and support. He believes that the Sacred Heart calls us to be present to those who are suffering and to offer them the love and care that they need. For Cardinal Tagle, devotion to the Sacred Heart is not simply a matter of pious practice, it is a way of life. It is a call to live out the love and compassion that the Sacred Heart represents in our daily lives. Cardinal Tagle often encourages people to deepen their devotion to the Sacred Heart through prayer, reflection, and acts of service. He believes that by doing so, we can become more attuned to the needs of others and more responsive to the call to love and serve. It is a way of life. It is a call to see the world through the lens of God's merciful love. Cardinal Tagle's devotion to the Sacred Heart shapes his perspective on life and ministry. He sees the world as a place where God's love is constantly at work, bringing healing and transformation. He believes that by embracing the Sacred Heart, we can become instruments of God's love and mercy in the world. It is a call to see the world through the lens of God's merciful love. This perspective challenges us to look beyond our own needs and concerns and to see the needs of others. It calls us to respond to the suffering and injustice in the world with compassion and action. Cardinal Tagle often speaks of the Sacred Heart as a source of inspiration for his work in social justice and his efforts to promote peace and reconciliation. It is a call to respond to that love with compassion and service. Cardinal Tagle believes that the Sacred Heart calls us to be active participants in building a more just and compassionate world. He encourages people to get involved in their communities, to volunteer their time and resources, and to work together to address the needs of the most vulnerable. He believes that by doing so, we can make a real difference in the lives of others and bring about positive change. This devotion to the Sacred Heart shapes Cardinal Tagle's approach to ministry. It inspires his focus on the marginalized. It fuels his passion for social justice. It guides his call for a more inclusive church. Cardinal Tagle's devotion to the Sacred Heart is a driving force behind his work and his vision for the church. It is a source of strength and inspiration that sustains him in his ministry and motivates him to continue working for a more just and compassionate world. It inspires his focus on the marginalized. Cardinal Tagle's commitment to the Sacred Heart is evident in his dedication to serving those who are often overlooked and forgotten. He believes that the Sacred Heart calls us to reach out to the marginalized and to offer them the love and support that they need. This commitment is reflected in his work with refugees, the homeless, and other vulnerable populations. It fuels his passion for social justice. Cardinal Tagle's devotion to the Sacred Heart is a driving force behind his work for social justice. He believes that the Sacred Heart calls us to stand up against injustice and to work for a more just and equitable world. This passion is reflected in his advocacy for the rights of the poor and marginalized, his efforts to promote peace and reconciliation, and his commitment to addressing the root causes of poverty and inequality. It guides his call for a more inclusive church. Cardinal Tagle's vision of the church is one that is open and welcoming to all people, regardless of their background or circumstances. He believes that the Sacred Heart calls us to embrace diversity and to work towards greater unity and understanding within the Church. This vision is reflected in his efforts to promote dialogue and collaboration among different cultures and faith traditions, and his commitment to building a more inclusive and compassionate Church. Cardinal Tagle is a champion of synodality. He believes deeply in the power of listening. He believes in the importance of dialogue. He believes in the need for collaboration in the Church. Synodality, for Cardinal Tagle, is not simply a matter of church governance. It is a way of being church. It is about recognizing the dignity of every member of the body of Christ. It is about valuing the gifts that each person brings. Cardinal Tagle emphasizes the importance of listening to the peripheries. He wants to hear the voices of those who are often marginalized. He wants to learn from their experiences. He wants to ensure that their voices contribute to the life of the Church. This commitment to synodality reflects Cardinal Tagle's deep respect for the people of God. He believes that the Holy Spirit speaks through all the baptized. He believes that the Church thrives when it embraces the diversity of its members. A church that goes out, the Missionary Imperative. This section delves into the heart of what it means for the Church to be truly missionary, to extend its reach beyond the confines of its walls and into the broader world. It is a call to action, a reminder of the Church's fundamental mission to spread the gospel and serve humanity. Cardinal Tagle is a passionate advocate for a missionary church. His vision is one where the Church is not a static institution, but a dynamic force for good in the world. He speaks with fervor and conviction, urging the faithful to embrace their missionary calling with enthusiasm and dedication. He reminds us that the Church is not meant to be turned inward. It is not a place of refuge from the world, but rather a beacon of hope and light that shines into the darkest corners of society. The Church's mission is to reach out, to engage with the world, and to bring the message of Christ's love to all people. The Church is called to go out into the world. This means stepping out of our comfort zones and engaging with people from all walks of life. It means being present in the places where people live, work, and struggle. It means being a visible and active presence in the world, showing the love of Christ through our actions and our words. The Church is called to share the good news with all people. This is not just about preaching or teaching, but about living out the gospel in our daily lives. It is about being witnesses to the transformative power of God's love and showing others what it means to live a life of faith, hope, and charity. For Cardinal Tagle, missionary work is not about proselytizing. It is not about trying to convert people to a particular way of thinking or believing. Rather, it is about sharing the love of Christ in a way that is respectful and compassionate. It is about meeting people where they are and walking with them on their journey of faith. It is about sharing the love of Christ. This love is not just a feeling or an emotion, but a concrete reality that is expressed through acts of kindness, generosity, and service. It is about being there for others in their times of need and showing them that they are not alone. It is about meeting people where they are. This means understanding their struggles, their hopes, and their dreams. It means being present in their lives and offering them the support and encouragement they need to grow in their faith. It means being a friend and a companion on their journey. It is about accompanying them on their journey. This journey is not always easy, and it often involves challenges and difficulties. But by walking with others, we can help them to find the strength and courage they need to keep going. We can offer them the hope and reassurance that comes from knowing that they are loved by God. This missionary impulse flows directly from Cardinal Tagle's deep love for the Church. His love is not just for the institution, but for the people who make up the Church. He sees the Church as a family, a community of believers who are called to support and care for one another. It also comes from his profound belief in the transformative power of the gospel. He believes that the message of God's love has the power to change lives, to heal wounds, and to bring about reconciliation and peace. This belief is at the heart of his missionary vision. He believes that the message of God's love has the power to heal. This healing is not just physical, but also emotional and spiritual. It is about bringing wholeness and peace to those who are broken and hurting. It is about offering them the hope and comfort that comes from knowing that they are loved by God. He believes it has the power to reconcile. This reconciliation is not just between individuals, but also between communities and nations. It is about breaking down the barriers that divide us and building bridges of understanding and cooperation. It is about creating a world where all people can live in peace and harmony. He believes it has the power to bring hope. This hope is not just a wish or a dream, but a confident expectation that God is at work in the world, bringing about his purposes. It is about trusting in God's promises and believing that he is able to do immeasurably more than we can ask or imagine. Cardinal Tagle's call for a missionary church is a call for all Catholics. It is a call to be active participants in the mission of the Church, to be witnesses of Christ's love in our daily lives. It is a call to step out in faith and to share the good news with those around us. He challenges us to be witnesses of Christ's love in our daily lives. This means living out our faith in practical ways by serving others and showing them the love of Christ. It means being a light in the darkness and a source of hope and encouragement to those around us. He urges us to share our faith with courage and compassion. This means being bold in our witness, but also being sensitive to the needs and concerns of others. It means speaking the truth in love and being willing to listen and learn from those we encounter. It means being ambassadors of Christ and representing him well in all that we do. Delexit knows Christ's love as the foundation. Pope Francis's encyclical, published in October 2024, provides a powerful theological foundation for Cardinal Tagle's vision. This encyclical, focused on the love of Jesus, resonates deeply with Cardinal Tagle's own spirituality, emphasizes the centrality of Christ's love in the life of the Church. It reminds us that this love is not an abstract concept, it is a lived reality, it is a love made tangible in the person of Jesus. Pope Francis highlights how Jesus' love is revealed in his life, death, and resurrection. This love, according to the encyclical, is the source of our hope. It is the foundation for our mission. It is the model for our relationships with one another. Cardinal Tagle sees this encyclical as a call to action. It is a call to ground our lives more deeply in the love of Christ. It is a call to allow that love to transform our hearts. It is a call to share that love with the world. The encyclical Dilexit Nos, which translates to He Loved Us, is a profound reflection on the nature of divine love. Pope Francis meticulously outlines how this love is not just a theological concept but a practical guide for living. Drawing from centuries of church tradition and scripture, the encyclical weaves together the rich tapestry of Christian teaching. It calls on the faithful to embody Christ's love in every aspect of their lives. Cardinal Tagle, inspired by this message, emphasizes the importance of pastoral care and compassion. He believes that the Church must be a beacon of Christ's love, especially in times of crisis and uncertainty. In a world often marked by division and suffering, the encyclical serves as a reminder of the healing power of love. It challenges us to look beyond our differences and to see the face of Christ in every person we encounter. This universal call to love transcends religious and cultural boundaries, inviting all of humanity to participate in the mission of love. It is a call to action that resonates with people of all faiths and backgrounds. Pope Francis's vision, as articulated in Dilexit Nos, is one of a church that is open, inclusive, and deeply rooted in the love of Christ. It is a vision that calls for a renewed commitment to the gospel and to the mission of spreading love and hope. Cardinal Tagle's embrace of this vision is evident in his ministry and his dedication to the people he serves. He sees the encyclical as a guiding light, illuminating the path forward for the Church. Through acts of kindness, compassion, and service, the message of Dilexit Nos comes to life. It is a message that calls us to be the hands and feet of Christ in the world. It is a message that reminds us that love is the foundation of our faith and the driving force behind our actions. As we reflect on the teachings of Dilexit Nos, let us be inspired to live out this love in our daily lives. Let us embrace the call to love, to serve, and to be a light in the world, guided by the profound and transformative love of Christ. Please subscribe to our channel History Documentary Hub for more insightful videos and intriguing content.